Good afternoon. My name is Prince Davenport. Use the mic. Good afternoon. My name is Prince Davenport, and I stand before you today as a high school graduate of Highwood Charter School, as well as a college graduate of Post University with my associates in criminal justice. And I will be attending Kenyon College this fall. I actually fly out tomorrow morning to study film and studio art with a focus in guitar. And the project I have to present here today is titled Echoes of Evolution, and it's under my internship with Raheem Nelson, who is one of the executive directors of the Milford Art Council. He's the marketing director. And he has been a great collaborator on this project. Like, I don't even really look to him as a mentor, but just we've had such a great connection and a collaboration. And he has just opened my eyes and even work opportunities to come work under the institution he works at, traveling up to Milford some weekends to photograph for his events and concerts that he has on display. So with that said, I will get started. My project will be about jazz, and modern jazz artists in New Haven here, to combat the social element of the unknowing of the revolution of jazz music. Sorry about that. Jazz is musical language that has blues, funk, classical, etc. It's something that is created to tell a story or become something to write with. It's important to keep the story alive through multiple generations. Jazz isn't just music here in New Haven, it's a tradition. A language spoken by musicians who call New Haven their home. From the smoky clubs to the lively festivals, the city pulses with the spirit that defines jazz. It's in the syncopated melodies that echo off the Yale campus and the late night jam sessions that bring together seasoned players and ease a newcomer. In New Haven, jazz isn't just a sound, it's a story. Written in the notes that float through Elm City's alleys and parks, in New Haven, jazz isn't just a genre, it's a conversation. An echo of the past mingling with the present. It's in the syncopated melodies that bounce off the walls of these historic clubs, and the late night jams sessions that bring together seasoned players and eager newcomers alike. And with that said, here is Echoes of Evolution, which you will hear from 2 out of 3 modern jazz artists here that I conducted video biography interviews of.
Hi, my name is Wes Lewis. I'm a saxophonist and a PhD student at Yale. I'm also the founder of the New Haven Composer Spotlight. I'm a jazz musician. That I would try to convey about the jazz scene in New Haven, maybe about jazz in general. When I moved here, I had no expectations of what the music scene would be like. I had envisioned if I went to New York City for grad school, or if I went to Boston for grad school, it would be affected by the Manhattan School of Music scene, for example, the Berkeley School of Music, or New England Conservatory scene. And those are my impressions when I go to play in New York or when I go to play in Boston, are that that's very much the case. There are educational institutions that kind of create community around them and are very closely associated with performance venues, halls, the sources of funding that musicians are able to get, sort of the traditions that they're raised within. In New Haven, I feel like this is something that's been much more diverse. It's more common for people to leave, or so close to New York or Boston, to go study elsewhere and then come back. And the amount of cross-pollination just between Philadelphia and New York, Providence, and Boston, these major metropolitan areas that are not all too far from New Haven. It's been far greater than I expected. So I feel like I found connections all over. Something that I didn't expect, I guess, was also how much history of jazz music there was in New Haven.
I'm a teaching artist and jazz guitarist located in New Haven, Connecticut. My musical journey really started in 5th grade as a band nerd playing tuba. I played tuba my entire life, but in middle school I switched over to playing guitar and I joined a rock band. Simultaneously, while I was in the rock band, I ended up joining a jazz band in high school, playing bass in the jazz band and then guitar in the rock band. When it came time for college to decide what to do, I ended up going for music, and I studied musical composition at Hall Street University. And that's when I really fell in love with jazz as an art form. Jazz is a really big topic. It's really complicated. It's really hard to understand sometimes to people that are not inside of the tradition or didn't grow up listening to it. But I think it ultimately comes down to the rhythm. And I think that rhythm is universal. And I think once the rhythms of jazz can be very complicated, but once you sort of walks through what to listen for, if you haven't grown up listening to it, I think the feeling of especially being a part of, or even in the same room as live jazz, like there's nothing like it. It's almost like everybody's spirit or soul is choosing a rhythm, and if everybody's locked in, it can be a transcendental experience.
Okay, and thank you again. I forgot to briefly mention in my introduction that I am also a musician, a violinist, viola, percussionist, and still pianist. So that was this inspiration from the project to study these jazz musicians. And thank you to Cliff, Wesley, and Fenn as well. You can find all of their video interviews and musical performances on the website included. And I also urge you to speak with Fenn in the back. She actually is here, so thank you for coming out. Yes, she is the featured, one of the featured artists. Yes.